This is Brandon Reisinger coming to you with your Chairman's Report. Our order bank, the Corsair, is at 6,004 units. The Escape is at 33,168 for a total of 39,172. Our 9-hour schedule this week is actually going to carry over into next week as well. We're making up units from our downtime. The following week, we should be going back to an 8-hour schedule the way it's looking. So probably somewhere in that 540 to 550 units per shift. That'll be week after next. KTP has reached a tentative agreement. I do want to congratulate John Jaggers and his team over there on that. I know it's not a fun process, and I'm sure they're glad to have that behind them. On that, I did want to clarify a little bit. We had a lot of questions when KTP put in strike notification last week. So KTP did request strike authorization on their local agreement. When that happens, that is strike authorization for that facility. So we had a lot of questions about what would happen to us, what would we do. We can't go on strike for KTP's local, and KTP can't go on strike for our local agreement. That is something that is specific to the facility that is under that local agreement. So I just wanted to clarify on that a little bit. If you have been trying to contact me today, my phone is currently down. Apparently AT&T has something going on. It sounds like, as I talk to different people, about 2/3 of the people with AT&T are having issues. There are some people whose phones are working, but as of right now, my phone is not getting any calls or texts. So when my service does come back on, I'll try to go through what I've got and try and get back with everybody. But if you've got something that's pressing, something that's a hot issue, I'm going to need you to get a hold of one of the bargainers, because I'm not going to receive your text, and a call's not going to come through either. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We're going to have new hire classes that are going to be coming in starting next week and probably the next 5 weeks. So you will see some people coming through. Next week's class is actually kind of small. We were having some trouble with people getting the link for the assessment. So I think they've got 32 people ready to go in the class next week, but they will be coming in. Sounds like the plan is for a little bit over 200 getting hired over the next 5 weeks, somewhere in the 220 range. If you've got somebody that is wanting to apply, they can apply at careers.ford.com. Once they have put their application in, you can go to the LAP homepage, and it's actually on the same link where we go to bid on jobs or put a shift roll in, and you can refer people there. I'm pretty sure that all you're going to need is their first and last name. It did have a reference number that was going there, but I think they were having issues with that, so they may have dropped the reference number. We've got COVID protocol. I've been getting quite a few questions on COVID protocol. So there is no COVID protocol in place in the Ford system anymore. If you come back positive with COVID, you've got 3 options. Those options are: you can continue to come to work, you can use your personal and vacation time, or you can open a medical leave. Now, if you open a medical leave, Unicare for an illness will not pay you until day 8, and typically you're out for COVID, depending on what day of the week it is and everything, 3 to 5 days is what you're looking at. So you're not going to get paid if you open a medical leave. That being said, under the 23 agreement, we did make changes to that, where if you have an approved medical leave, even if it is not paid, you don't get the 2 medical chargeables that we used to get. So a medical leave will still cover you as far as AWOLs go. It's just not going to provide any income. Wanted to clarify on that. We've got the Spring Bass Tournament coming up. That's going to be April 28th. The entry fee for that is $60 per boat. The deadline for entry is April 22nd, and entry forms are at the hall. So if you're interested in that, make sure you get one of those filled out. The 22nd is the deadline. We also have the UAW Good Friday Golf Scramble at Glen Oaks Golf Course coming up. That's going to be on Good Friday. I believe it's a shotgun start at 8 a.m. The entry for that is $240 per four-man team. All proceeds for that do go to Adopt a Child. If you're interested in that, contact Brett Mitchell. He's actually the one that organizes that scramble, and thanks to him for that. The next union meeting is going to be at KTP. We're having discussion right now as far as the date, if it's going to be the second Tuesday of the month like normal, or if they're going to move it, because the entire leadership from both plants as well as the hall have sub-council the second week of March. So there's a possibility that date could move, but I'll get you all a date next week for certain. That's all I got this week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.